ReviewDork. Wait, ReviewDork. Real quick, what do you think about Tesla?
Tesla?
Yes.
Do you have AMC stock?
I don't have any.
Yeah, you got the wrong guy.
What?
What's going on, guys? Gabe here with ReviewDork. I hope you enjoyed that skit. Because yesterday I did a video without a hat on and people were saying like, hey, we don't recognize you. Well, I wear this hat here because it's a reverse disguise, right? So I could be out in public without a hat and I can be uninterrupted. So reverse disguise there, but you guys got me. Anyways, let's go ahead and look at the stock, what I want to see on Monday. So when we look at the daily here, we could see that the RSI is relatively neutral, sitting at 49.6. We also see that we're respecting a trend line, and so AMC is acting like a stock, not a meme stock, right? And so everyone wants to go to the moon, and it almost feels like, especially with Friday's barcoding behavior, you could literally scan the barcode and get a coupon for cheap AMC stock. When we look at this here, and I want to bring this on over to the 4 hour, what we're seeing is 1028 is looking like a resistance, right? But that also happens to be the 50-day moving average. And then we also see that the 200-day moving average is our next level of resistance. And what I want to see is that the stock break through both levels of resistance, and I want to see a convergence on the 4 hour with the 50-day and 200-day moving average. We see that there is convergence with the MACD and the signal line, and it looks like we could be entering a bullish trend starting for Monday. Again, ideally, this is what I would like to see. You saw my skit where I'm in my C8, right? And just recently, by the way, she's a diva, guys, right? But just recently, the dealership said that they would buy it back from me at 30% over MSRP. And I'm saying to myself, well, wow, you know, this is the first time I've ever heard something like that. And it's because of supply and demand. Now, what I want to do is look at Berkshire Hathaway for a second. And we're going to zoom out here, but you can see it was recently trading at $417,000 a share. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't believe supply and demand in itself can squeeze a stock to infinity and beyond, then yeah, you just take off your ape suit and just call it a day and let someone else pick up those tendies, right? But when we look at the daily here, we could see on Friday we had a volume of 2,099. That's pretty wild, right? So when we compare it to AMC, let's look at the volume for Friday. The volume was 27.5 million. And when we saw the spikes in prices, guys, we saw a massive increase in volume. We see 77 million in volume, and then we drop down to 50 million in volume. And so what I would like to see as well is volume pick up and then volume decrease. Why do we want to see that? Well, let's go ahead and look at Vortex data, right? And we have AMC here, okay? And what I want to see is some buying and holding. So the last bit of Vortex data available to us, it's not even updated. I would like to see these numbers updated for Monday. But we have days to cover at 3.63. And so at the current volume, it would take shorts up to 3.6 days to cover. Now, what I would like to see is us buy, but not sell. We have to buy, we have to hold, right? And then you are going to see volume taper off because no one is selling. We need to create the supply and demand crunch. And I also want to highlight something here. Supply and demand. Now we're looking at the fundamentals of Berkshire Hathaway right now, Berkshire Hathaway Class A shares. And for those who are wondering, like, how did it reach that high? Well, we have shares outstanding at 639,000 shares. And guess what? No one's really selling because we saw that the volume is absolutely low. Who would sell unless you're just like giant silverback whale with just a whole lot of money and a whole lot of ego and says, well, hey, I'm going to swing trade Berkshire Hathaway Class A shares, right? But this was by design. Warren Buffett purposely wanted to keep Berkshire Class A shares out of the hands of speculators and day traders. You do that by not diluting and by not splitting the stock, right? Again, creating a supply and demand crunch. That is essentially how I want us all to start treating AMC. Treating it like it's a Berkshire Hathaway Class A stock where you buy it and you hold it, right? Now, I want to show you guys something else here. When we look at the Fidelity details, we see that there's been a significant change in ownership for this quarter, where in the previous quarter, we had net institutional shares purchased at 1.1 million. Now, current quarter, we have 19.5 million. So ladies and gentlemen, the institutions see what we see. They are backing up AMC, right? And this is the reason why the other percentage, which we see at 79.2, that's the reason why we saw that drop, right? Because institutions came in and started buying up available shares, which means, guys, you need to stop selling. You need to buy and hold. Remember, we have to create that supply and demand crunch. And it's not like you need another example, but I will create another example in my gaming rig back there. I have an NVIDIA RTX 3090, retail $14.99. Because of supply crunch, go on eBay and you're gonna see it for $3,000 or more. Again, there's value in who you ask, right? So each person has a different perceived value on an asset. You may be thinking that AMC is worth 20 bucks, 100 bucks. There's another person who thinks it's worth 1,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 100,000. We're all in this together, but we have to buy and hold, continue to buy and hold, and then we go to the moon. All right, guys, so I'm gonna take off my hat, and I have about 100,000 hair follicles on my head. That's about the number of strands on the average human head. And that's where we want to see AMC stock go, 100,000. Let's really focus on the task at hand this week. Let's buy, let's hold. Don't freak out if the volume drops. That just means that your days to cover on the 2-week average actually goes up. But do not give these hedgies any more ammo. They're losing, we're winning. But we got to stay focused. We got to stay determined, right? This is how we go to the moon. Anyways, this is Gabe with ReviewDork. I'm signing out. So much for shitty DD Sunday, I think. Yeah, that's what we're going to start doing. This is going to be called Shitty DD Sundays. All right, you guys got something to look forward to next Sunday. Peace.